Welcome to late IHP Show with your very own 5D Mystic. We're going to begin talking about something, or it's daytime, depending where you tune in. Power. Not power corrupts, not leadership, not manipulation, nope, not lies. So, any of you journal or do mindset practices, or how about differentiate and self-regulate when you're like interacting with people? That's a micro habit I put into practice all the time. And then there's also something else that you keep doing. So, mystic, spiritual, mindful. That is why between spiritual and personal growth, it's one and the same for the 5D collective. So, something deeper is what corrupts. And it's if you have a cracked foundation. Now, some will say you're not broken, and I agree. But I've heard the phrase from lovely DID lady who's healed, and she wrote her book. I need to find it, but those who are regulars know I'm attachment trauma educated. So, dissociative identity disorder. And so she said, as she's ending the course that I took with her and Dr. Danner Siegel, she says, I'm writing the book so people can know they're not broken, but they're fixable. So when I use sentences, I don't always say where I get them from or not get them from because I can't always remember. But in the meantime, what I was trying to say is a cracked foundation, not that it's broken. And we can do that. Art's the one where you put gold in it, but being people, let's not objectify. So self-regulation skills. Once you learn how you can have it too, nervous system sovereignty. And those are the people who go to PayHip to check out journal prompts and mindset practices, because self-agents do it all the time. And so what I was going to continue on, and we'll talk more about it, but one. So when you're epistemically curious, disciplined, and diligent, you're forever growing like the tree of life. And then we also know that all trees are different. So every embodied brain, yes, we have the same mechanisms, but they have different implicit memory going on when they're in the womb. They're different 0-1-year-old, and if they have an underdeveloped right mode, well, we have news. It's not conscious. Consciousness is not what corrupts either. So, the rigidity and chaos. Those who stay rigid, we know of all the people who they continue to harbor resentment for the past because their stories stayed. Oh, they're picky with words too, by the way. I'm not picky with words, but they're also like, it has to be only God. You can't say source, Akashani Mamundi. You can't say blah, 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 blah. So those who get rigid with that, I understand their subjective reality, and that's because that's what it is to get rigid with words. Objective reality is, well, there's objective truths, and it's a handful of facts. And then there's Neil deGrasse, who likes to share when you are, connected to reality, you want to make a difference in your life, everyone else's life. I'm paraphrasing. He says if you're not connected, then that not connected to reality, to objective truths, can make you not make good decisions for your life, the life of your loved ones, the life of society and civilization itself. So candlelight illuminates damage beneath the feet with wave of lights. That's my body sharing with you information. And what I'm going to say is that uncorruptible people, they know that they have biases, they have charges, they have effective realism, they have a past. We all do, but we don't need to reparent, as we're using our prefrontal. And so I understand that as we move forward, God would appreciate that I continue to share what I've been sharing, but that I practice the micro habit of doing what I'm doing right now. Because I'm actively really irritated with fear-based leadership. I don't even want to use the word because they're not leaders in my book. I can spot a manipulator by the back of my hand, and obviously sometimes it takes a little bit of time because you need to settle in with, what did I pick up from that nervous system? Wait, was my nervous system activated? You know what? Doesn't matter about mine. No, mine does matter. So when you have your own charges come up, they matter. That's where growth happens, personal and spiritual. Be yourself under pressure. So, let me look. Hold on. I have some notes that I wanted to use so that you could understand me. And not me, but the concept that I'm going to try to bring to you, peers. So people who understand what peers are, epistemically curious, disciplined, and diligent people will find those human beings peers. They will also be emotionally mature, because it doesn't matter how articulate or not you are, they won't really give a shit. They'll be quite up to date and open-minded. And so yeah, we don't listen to those who don't know who they are, their self, their identity, or their belonging. So they don't have sensations, perspective, or agency. They can't sift through sensations, images, feelings, thoughts. And what I mean is that when somebody's reactive with their affective realism and their defense mechanism, that's no longer a conversation. And at that point, they are manipulable like the back of their hand, and there will be that group and that group, and the two become completely lacking in the objective understanding. Reality is socially defined, but the definitions are always embodied. That is, concrete individuals and groups of individuals serve as definers of reality. Furthermore, that was from one of my sociology books. Words are used to shape popular opinion and justify legal action and political policy. However, when you have epistemically lazy and or even if they're disciplined and diligent, people who have affective realism buys these charges and don't notice, they don't care to self-regulate. I've seen a woman do this. Here's the data, I saw it, and I know narcissists aren't healable, look, and she's deciphering all this, because we all can make sense to ourselves. 1, 2, 3, A, B, C, D, F, G. I can do Hansel and Gretel too. That's the point of why, if you're a self-agent, you're like, yes, I have a subjective opinion, I can go grab those qualitative, quantitative data analysis, and I can do the same thing. But what gives her away is this: my colleagues are against me. That's called, you wanted the group of yours to validate your loop, your emotional charge. You're going to find the group. If that's how you lead, that's not a leader. It's a fear-based leader, creates followers. We don't do that. Love-based leaders create leaders. They're badass, because it's like, okay, look, what was it again? Words are used. Yes, I don't shape popular opinion or justify anything. I just say, here is how the embodied brain works. I was taught it. I'm an integrated whole brain. I got a 3-year-old right here. She doesn't have anything to do with the very big irritation with the kids, the peers, my teenager. Yeah, I think I've explained that well enough. So I don't like fake people. Anyone who lacks the capacity to have a ventral vagal no and yes will be fake. And I will know it because I met them. They're not interesting cowards. They get boring. And the ones who are healing, they don't stay cowards because they're brave and they're strong, like their infant was. And that's why they honor themselves. And then they say, I don't do it, I don't let that. And you say nothing. You say, at least you took care of your 0-8-year-old, but wow, seriously, now you're going to be, again, another one of them. Another one bites the dust. So window of tolerance moves to window welcome. And that's why I almost reacted. And then I remembered, let me train the pause. Let me sift through. Thanks, Dr. Dan Siegel. Sensations, images, feelings, thoughts. My self-organization is processing information. What's coming up? My subjective experience. What's going on here? Well, let me think. I think I have encountered more than my fair share of human beings who don't know how to notice that when they have their own biases, charges, affective realism, subjective experiences from the past, that we all can have them. So, yes, I never walked one day in somebody's shoes. Candlelight illuminates damage beneath the feet with wave of lights, and no one's walked beneath my shoes. And when someone is a fear-based leader and continues to think that complex systems can't figure themselves out, they don't know what personal growth people know. We know ourselves. Personality patterns, temperament, attachment. And so you're never overwhelmed to the point of where you go offline. And that's because that's what self-agency with an empowered ego and self. And so that's our 5D collective. We're flawed. Oh, we're imperfect. You better bet, but our structure ain't fragmented or broken. And if it ever had been, those who are actually responsibly taking themselves seriously, they go get earned secure attachment, earned. Then with their self-agency, they continue to build good habits. and minimize the bad habits. And they don't actually find people who are saying, yes, it's possible to completely have emotional intelligence, resilience, depth, regulate intensity. You bet your bottom it's amazing. And they, in fact, come to those who are securely attached, since they know the difference too, because they got a good gut now. So while I do understand those who you put your left foot in and your right foot in and you shake it all about, you do the hokey pokey and you turn yourself around, that's what it's all about. While I understand that they don't want to walk like an Egyptian, balance themselves out, I mean, really, it's not nice. It's a pity, as you're not teaching the children how to be emotionally mature, to self-regulate, to know not to shame, blame, fault, revenge, but also you can't shame ignorance out of people. And so, Neil, I love you, but let me see, where are you? Science is true whether or not you believe in it. Yet we have the flat earthers and those who say they shouldn't exist. That's not nice. I make fun of them. Grounded in reality people, as Sam Harris points out, cherishable beliefs can be falsifiable. There's no demon, someone who's going to say there is. I'm like, well, I'm a mystic and spiritual, and I talk to God, and I actually channel and download. So, no, from my lived experience as a mystic, I'm going to say no. But that's because I already knew he wasn't around once I got to 20, because I'm like, hey, God, so listen, all these people, cowards, cloak people, I don't know what they're doing. They're still hurting children, grown-ups, all of it. It doesn't make any sense. They keep talking about you, but it seems they have lost their way. And my good Christian Catholic catechist, I don't know why they're not all, making sure that they answer to the Dalai Lama's call. Like, so all of spiritual people should come together. Should activate the sympathetic, damn it. Could. That's what happens when you learn things and you're like, yep, I want to activate, not the sympathetic, because I'm trying to have a conversation with all people. It doesn't matter how effective, though, you try to be. The minute you have said something and a person lacks self-awareness, accountability, regulation, it is right, no, it feels right. Yes, dude, I would love for air, water, and food to be tended to. Snap and done. Oh, I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch it. I know we're smart enough, because the therapists, they heal all the ones who want to go. So we're going to get stronger, because some of us stay securely attached. The others will get earned secure attachment. And the ones who play groupies, well, they don't have, you don't know what it's like to be the bad one, to be the sad one. I know it's not funny, distress. I have eustress. I'm trying to encourage comfort, support by being a smart ass. That's one of the ways, I mean, seriously, because if there's anything that will make ego go, I want it too, or at the very minimum, bitch, I don't like you. Either or, I'm like, you know what, I tried to encourage that which is your capacity. Like the little choo-choo train, who could? So I don't have family in the head the way Dr. Daniel Fox, you're a piece of shit. No, hey, how dare you? That's not nice. I went to diet. We're doing the diet. I got intrigued. That's how I treat myself. I'm not an indulging parent. I'm not my parent. I got parent. And I'm not a delusional idiot. That's the left and the right from that book. I show down habit. Pretend that I have it, for those who've seen it before. Okay, so the point, find objective truths. You can try to communicate them to others effectively. That doesn't mean they will believe you, because in fact, someone's like, oh, so you don't believe in evil? No. Actually, I don't really appreciate using the word, but if I have to, Michael Stone, forensic criminologist scale, grandiose, yeah, obvious, they're all pathologies. It's not even funny how many are out there. Psychopathic, or what? Psychopathy is healable, number one, so I don't really appreciate us putting that word in that group, but I get it. He's a forensic criminologist, there we go. And I watch Criminal Minds. So this is why the younger generation, they're already really smart, which is what I love. So I think that it's because I'm old. I'm around a bunch of people who have charges instead of knowing common sense stuff. So they're, yeah, you know what? I need to remember that. Hey, young generation, you're amazing. I met 2 police officers, boy and a girl, and they want to do it for the right reasons. And people laughed when I said that. I'm like, that's really good. Like, the future is going to be here. But then I saw another guy who's like, we need to make more children because otherwise the economy. And I'm like, yeah, until there's killing going on, no. No, until there's like physical killing. I'm with the people, abstain completely. Pollution, abstain. Why would we want our children to die in the heat that nobody's taking care of? That's how straightforward it is. The globe, one globe. So grandiosity, I know who it is. Oh, yes, so people who think in survivorship bias, they don't agree with this. They actually think they can predict the future based on the past. They're amazingly hilarious, like the ones who actually are so negative towards AI. It's like, do you not remember the calculator? I remember it got taken away from me. First I had to learn the hard way, then they gave it to me. Social media is not the reason why we're losing people's minds. No, I actually think children should be brought to read more. Like with the parents, you know what I mean? Like read for like 1, 2, 3 hours maybe. What do we think? I'm getting those stares. Okay, so anyways, the point is we can all find someone to blame. Put a finger in your ear and people told you, let them tell you you're not good enough. Anybody remember Rocky? Yeah, I remember that one. Life. It ain't no sunshine and rainbows. It'll hit you to the ground if you let it. And you have to get... I love you, Sylvester, I really do. But that's... Right now, I'm trying to use it as an example. Life don't hit you hard and you're not on your knees. That's a figure of speech. But oh my gosh, anybody who still uses it will sound like a Zen master. Laundry. Because that's called you're like in a visual that actively has you... Yeah. Instead, what you want, Rocky, is... And the same words, maybe. Let's see. Let's try it. You let people put a finger in your ear? No. It's like right down here. No. Okay. So what it is to Sylvester's son is in Rocky. We know what happened. The fifth one. He ignored you for another kid. He ignored you. Kept working. You felt like a shadow. Everybody knew, oh, you're his kid. We want, you know. So I mean, really, it's obvious. You could have gone to therapy and done shadow work with a good therapist. And then maybe Rocky would have joined you. You would have been a happy family. That's personal responsibility. Like everyone listening though, not the, oh, we'll come, but we won't listen to the good mediator who's a good therapist. I'm rooting for the therapist because I'm a mystic and spiritual one, but there's people who apparently think that we replace them. And while I do know now we have mindful therapists, I still believe they are going to be geniuses thanks to their neuroscience. Academia is important. Anyone who thinks that not important doesn't understand how I learned about the embodied brain. Anatomy, yeah, that was really one of those courses. So, long story short, welcome aboard, IHP Community, 5D Collective. Check out PayHip, and that's for journal prompts, mindset practices. The less connected you are to what is objectively true, the less likely you are able to make decisions that will benefit your life, the life of your family, even civilization itself. Thanks, Neil deGrasse. The thing is, again, subjective reality. So dehumanizing or basically thinking someone's opinions doesn't matter if you think they're fake. Like Terry Real points out, the feelings are there. So if you're a functioner or child adult, you're going to do what you can to engage appropriately. And if you offend, you say, I'm sorry, just because that's the thing. You're not going to actually make it better. I mean, some people don't like to say the sorry thing, but that tells me that there's something at hand. At the same time, we do want to address bad behavior, maladaptive patterns of behavior, but drinking, drugging, fucking seems to still be rock and roll, what people who are very immature, the system trying to hold us down, are doing. So really, it's always the same for me. I'm like, I say tomato, you say tomato, you say banana, and I say tomato, banana. Yes, let's call the whole thing off. No. My point is that people will always address what their amygdala is alerted to. And so that's why subjective reality is a real deal, which is why you want to become, how has my ability to create steadiness from uncertainty helped me to stay true to myself, to help others, and to expand humanity? Furthermore, what happens when I increase flexibility as I soften control, resistance, emotional charges, or fill in the blank? And so flexibility, as you patiently interact with others. I talk really fast, for example, for some people. And when they tell me to slow down, recently my twin, I was like, I can't slow down, I'm excited, I'm going, blah, blah. So I'm just saying, but I can try eventually, like if I'm not in a rush to go somewhere. That's where personality patterns, temperament, attached securely. How does my irritation and or judgment block me from being of service, support to others, society, human evolution, and to inspire human potential? And last, what do I close my mind off from? Where does rigidity come up? Do I deny as existing? What can I accept as part of this world that I don't like? I don't like that emotionally immature people will not heal, that they get called names and they call each other names, and that they bring chaos, physically endangering chaos to our world. So no, I don't want children. They're not protected. That's my 3-year-old. The children aren't protected. I believe in God. I know He's got our back, but I also know free will. And I know scientists will fix it because they're the ones who are brilliant with the embodied brain. And it is sad for me that the spiritual ones don't all come together. It's very disappointing. Yes, but it's not disappointing to the point, Zen Master, of calling it fucking laundry and that word Zen. This is where I get pissed. You don't know Zen, but I'm sorry. I have a different body than yours, and mine has a window welcome to tears. And actively it releases trauma charges. But that's because I don't ruminate and judge humanity pieces of shit while I'm crying. I just think it's sad that they don't want to go heal because they don't want to take personal responsibility seriously, and they don't believe in their first 3 years of life mattering. Fun is hard to believe. No, 50 years of life is why I have. It's yes. That's it. I have nothing else except for if you think you recently, great conversation, love my friend to death. If you are aware, great, you are aware. Okay. What you told me, when you have money, you and your daughter, you and your son, awesome. No guilt, no, and I'm not a parent, you know that, but it's a great job. Personal responsibility. The ones who get all defensive about it, I just saw a quote about it. It's like, yeah, okay, nobody's blaming. So, as we keep moving forward, the ones who will not join us, we know who they are. They, in fact, exist already, not taking their children to hospitals. Don't know probably what year it is, thinking that everything that's technology is evil and devilish. And I'm like, okay, wow, I don't know what to say. Cognitive dissonance, I think, is the word. Or is it structural dissociation? Some people say, but we can't impose our beliefs on others. And I'm like, is it a belief that science helps people? It's curing like diseases, and so that's why that also words. It's just not meaningful when they're used in ways that actually hurt people. So, but we have to use them because that's how we talk, and we even have different languages. So, I mean, I'm bilingual, trilingual, because I speak a little bit of French. And long story short, thanks for stopping by, and have a good one.